A new engine had arrived on the railroad. He was clearly of Midland design, painted green, but didn't seem out of place in the yard. Remember, I once had to fill in as motive power for the Flying Kipper when this engine was being overhauled back in 1993. That's right, Henry came back. And just in time, too. Sodor was getting ready to celebrate 20 years on the air. Or at least it was when this was filmed. This meant our railway was going to do a lot to prepare for the special events that would last throughout the year. For example, excursions, TV crew functions, special visitors, parties at stations, and more. And more importantly, everything I just mentioned. For now, this is one of the engines talking. And I don't keep track of everything. It was the day before one of the special weekend exertions when Henry came back. Pardon me, do I know you? Unicorn horns and Pegasus wings? Henry! What happened to your voice? You sound like me, if I was voiced by Ron the Cyborg. What are you doing here so early? Sir Topham Hatt said you'd be back a month from now. You heard right. Gordon been of the edge after his race with that new jet plane, Jeremy. I've been up and down the line the most with that train. Can't believe Spencer won't volunteer. And now Sir Topham Hatt is thinking of loaning a new steam engine to pull it. I don't think I'll say anything. He left, and we went to sleep, feeling reunited. The next morning our fires were lit. As I was raising steam, workmen connected some pipes so some of my steam would go into Henry's boiler. A former logging line in California does it. So our wait isn't for long. Soon, we were waiting for the train to be shunted in. Henry's crew was looking their engine all over. But just then, the final call came. With that put to rest for the moment, we buffered up. I never seen a crowd so large since the Queen visited. A few minutes later, the guard's whistle blew, and we left the station. It wasn't long before we reached 60 miles per hour. Not as fast as a certain new engine's limit, but perfect for today. The cracked pipe didn't bother Henry that much. We just kept going like an A4 Pacific. We took on Gordon's Hill like a champ. We were just passing the Maron when... Just recently, our railway has allowed a radio communication system. This way, our crew can talk to control or to the crew of the engine in front. Eventually, we arrived into Vicarstown. I was glad because when we turned around for the trip, we would swap places, and I would be in front. Henry was uncoupled from me, and he went off onto a siding so workmen could try to fix the pump as well as the cracked pipe. I went up alongside. "You all right, Henry? Maybe you should go back to the works after this." "Don't worry. If you should falter, I'm ahead of you." I was surprised then and there I had a habit of speaking too soon, because at that instant Sir Topham Hatt showed up. "Wait, but sir, but sir, can I say something?" "Okay, Chubby." This was bad news for Henry. He was bound to muck up on that express freight, and I was left to pull the excursion all by myself. Soon I was back at the station, waiting for Henry to pass. If you are wondering, the express freight does not just have a fish, its name is... Sorry, moment of silence for Henry to pass. I got the clear signal and headed back to Natford. Soon we came to the infamous Gordon's Hill. It's easy to see why the big express engine got stuck so easily. It is a 4% grade for about 3 miles, which is tutoring for the average passenger train to go up it, especially when you got to do it all alone. Especially when you go at it all alone. To put it simple, the grade was too much. I came to a standstill about 3/4 of the way up. We were about to give up and stop when the throttle was opened, and with me pulling and someone pushing, we reached the top and coasted down the other side. With that out of the way, we continued on to Natford. Only one question remained. Who was pushing us? By the time we reached Natford, it was the evening. Of course, there was no sign of Henry, as was the only one behind me. So it's possible that... Hold that thought! Here he comes! Yeah, some miracle worker gave me a good shove up the hill. I wonder who. Oh, okay. Wait, you did that? No, I guess my funnel talk drowned it out. With that train gone, there was nothing left for us, so we headed home, light engines. Before which, we were coupled together again, so we could... Before which, we were coupled together again, so we could double head. I don't understand. I know you're strong, Gordon, but how are you able to push me up the hill like that? Oh, I just noticed. Your coal bunker's covered. So it's official. You're green. At that moment, the signal dropped and was headed home. Afterwards, I got the week off and Henry was called to pull the wild nor'west 3 times. Nor'western 3 times during that week. Then he went back to the works for a month, where his overhaul was completed. I'm now proud to call him my best friend.